Hello. So for this little video, I'm going to show you guys a basic um, African influence rhythm on the cajon, which is a traditional instrument that was actually brought over from Africa to Peru in South and Central America um, via the slave trade. Um, and so it has a really cool influence to it. Um, Basically, it's kind of just like, it's called a cajon, which is like a drawer, right? And so basically that's what it is. It's just this wooden drum that we made. Um, it's six-sided, and in the back there's a acoustic hole, so it can come out, the sound can come out easier. But I'm going to play a simple African style or African influenced cajon beat. Here we go. So it's real simple. It's pretty simple. That's a pretty common one. Like we hear that like in different traditional African style influenced drum beats, and you can even hear it like that's kind of even like we even hear that kind of beat still today, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna show you guys a couple more. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm gonna be doing a traditional kind of like flamenco style uh, drum beat with the cajon. It's a Sevillanas rhythm, and so it's real simple too. So it starts like. That's out. So, just like we said, with European or even, I even say like Iberian influence, there's also the Mediterranean. With the Mediterranean, we get a little bit of difference of like basically like Middle Eastern or Arabic style rhythms also included. And so some of the songs will have them, but most of the time we don't notice it. Um, but we do get those rhythms in there, and a lot of them are even like flushed together, where we get to see like a combination of a mestizo of rhythm, if you will. And so we get like these Arab, Iberian style rhythms. I'm gonna play the dumbek for this one, and so this one's like a really traditional one. So it goes like this. And so that's a real common one of those rhythms. So it has a little bit of the African root, but it also has this like difference in timing, which is pretty cool. You would hear that like even in a modern song, like obviously like from like people like Shakira or other individuals, but now we're even seeing it like in like reggaeton. It's that start of that beat, and it's almost like the son clave backwards. And so we heard it on here, and then we could also hear that same thing on the cajon too. But the important thing is to note that like even though these are like end up being brought into the New World via the Europeans, um, these instruments end up being played with these African rhythms, right, and indigenous rhythms, which are pretty cool, if you ask me. So I really enjoy that. A quick note too about this too. I forgot to mention this before. Was the cajon was actually wasn't brought until like the 1600s, um, and that's kind of interesting. And it really didn't pick up till like the late 1700s, early 1800s that people started using this more. Rather, it was some other instrument. Maybe they were using like a basic drum or something like that. But this ended up being something that was more accessible, and so that ended up being a really big reason why they used them. But those rhythms are what's important. And just like Professor Sanchez said, like it even comes out in things like guitar and stuff like that later. Hope you like this. Thank you for watching.